Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing wonderful. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, when Cupid became a thing. The reason I'm going to say it like that is because so few people understand marketing at its finest. Let's see. I want to actually Google this. What year did Valentine start? Um, look, there's Mr. Cupid. Saint Valentine was actually a feast day. Of course, us Catholics would have a saint for all of these. I didn't know that. I have a friend that her last name is Valentine. Valentine. And I didn't realize, but it is how you say that? They don't say that, oh, the 1500s. So it's been around a long time. But I'm sure in America, we didn't always do this.
It's gotten bigger and bigger.
Oh, at Winn-Dixie, we used to, like, if it was during the week, we would like dread it. I mean, I can remember us doing $75,000 in sales the week of like if you look a 7-day week of Valentine's at Winn-Dixie back in the, I call it when people, shopped loyal grocery stores or things like that, which was amazing. So let's see who, happy Hallmark Day. I like that. So it looks like everybody's going to be just in listening mode, and not sure if anybody's going to be able to come off camera. So it will definitely change the dynamics of the way in which I teach. Oh, look at her with her balloon. She's going to have her little chitlins. Have all your little
busy morning.
Okay, so I'm going to first start with a couple of things of, I'm going to call it in the news. I worked as a florist during Valentine's and took orders only. Lisa, you were smart. Y'all, dethorning roses. I mean, my hands were just swollen. I wish I had Solflex cream back then. I did have a cream, but it didn't work as beautifully as Solflex cream. I could see where Solflex cream would have been a definite plus. So yeah, overslept and getting ready, still trying to hurry and finish to get on the video. I love it, Becky. So in the news, okay, anybody ever read Rachel Hollis's books? Her ex-husband just died, 47 years old. He, the week before, had cardiovascular issues, and they found him dead Saturday night in his house, and unresolved cardiovascular issues. And I heard about it through Brennan Burchard's community because I did his training and growth day. But it's interesting that they will let it known that there was cardiovascular issues. And the other in the news is they have had 3 or 4 train derailments. And we actually had one right south of Shreveport, and it's all chemical spills, which is contaminating, but this is the part, what kind of shortage are we going to have from these spills and the respiratory issues? So Louisiana recently had some very interesting respiratory issues come up. And look at what I just told y'all. We had a chemical spill where people, the whole town was evacuated. So the part of what I'm trying to explain to you is that, these kind of things are absolutely real, and they do affect people's respiratory. My husband worked at a chemical plant, so I knew firsthand of, like, we were just talking last night about with some people about coal dust and this carbon black plant. So all these different ways in which that we get toxins that come in. Any other like things that y'all wanted to mention today, even if you just type it in, I guess, an in the news, something going on. And why am I bringing these things up? The reason I'm bringing them up is because they all go back to health issues. They're all going to go back to health issues. And I guess what I'm saying is in Louisiana or Mississippi, if you're having people who are being more sensitive coming out with colds, I need you to think about it from a standpoint of actually approaching it from a chemical standpoint rather than from the actual respiratory. People don't realize that if a person has a chemical sensitivity, and that's going to be a lot of our people with MTHRF. So Abigail, maybe you could give us a tone down. What is MTHRF? That methylation part of the liver. Just your terminology of it. It doesn't.
So basically your body there's a certain mutation within your genes to where your body does not properly process things the way it's supposed to. And it tends to affect a lot of women and they don't even know it until they find out later. So they really should have more plant-based or like whole food-based supplements or vitamins versus synthetic, because it can cause a whole host of problems. And it really affects the liver.
And what, okay, that's right. It affects the liver. And what 3 vitamins are impacted by this MTHRF gene?
Vitamin B.
Okay, but B what?
B9? Is it B9? It's folate.
Yeah, folate. Okay, B9, B6, and
B12.
B12. Okay, each one of those are a gene. And that if you have a double mutation from both your parents, you will have more of a chemical sensitivity when we have chemical spills that are in the air and in the environment. So when we have a train derailment, that 26 cores of caustic gases are exposed into the air, will we be affected if we have that MTHRF, Abigail?
Wait, can you repeat that one more time? I was trying to type in everything.
Oh, you're fine. If we had gases exposed in the air from 26 rail cores, are we going to be affected if we have this MTHRF gene?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that is the MTHRF gene, is the way in which the body is unable to process chemicals. You need B vitamins in solution in order to process chemicals. That's why when you walk into a store that's highly chemical sensitivity, like there's this store I love to go into it, but I'm going to tell y'all, I wish they would have a mask for us, because they have so much of these fake smelling chemicals in it that, I mean, I can only stay in increments at a time, and the rest of the day I'll have a headache. And that did not affect me until I went through menopause. Before menopause, I had none of these issues. So people with PCOS, people with hormonal imbalances will be affected more with these chemical smells and respiratory issues. VOCs, there you go. They're literally what they're called. They're VOCs. Velocity, it's a velocity in the air, and it can't be seen. And so it's You don't think it's affecting you, but it is. I mean, you go to Texas, and across Texas, when that Sahara dust or that dust is going across Texas, I mean, everybody's having what they call hay fever or hay, something like that. So just food for thought in what's going on. So people in Ohio, Louisiana, and South Carolina, if y'all are having unexplained health issues going on, go towards the Soul Clear, the Excel, but I would be adding Omnitox in there. So that's why I brought in the news this morning, because it's going to be, a lot of people don't think that it's an impact, but it is, which is going to bring me to something I want to bring up today. So if anybody wants to be able to follow, I'm going to put this link in the Facebook chat. Let me see how I can get in here. This is the link from my webpage, and it's going to be something I'm going to talk about this morning. I'm going to be sharing a brochure that I made, and eventually I will be completing it. How you said that? I don't know what's my problem about being, I guess I need to just send it to Abigail, and Abigail's going to coach me and tell me, just do it.
I find it ironic that you're saying that about me whenever I'm the person that literally is like, I want it to be perfect. But
Well,
it's
that's
been
why
better.
we get along so well, because we both have the perfection, being raised with perfection as a clause. I guess I can call it a clause. I don't know what else to call it. So today, if everybody can bring up this pH balancing. So today I'm going to cover pH balancing. And the reason in which I want to cover pH balancing is because of the simple fact that I've been working with some people, and I want them. Yes, Kirkland's is that store. That is like, Becky, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. I love to go in that store, but y'all, it's like I want to tell them, y'all don't stay with a headache all the time. And then I hear the cashier telling the other girl, I still have a headache every time I come to work. And I'm like, I would take these little satch patches, and I would put that out the back door. Like, get them out your store. They are ferocious and they stink. And Bath and Body Works, I don't know how these people can, I actually know somebody who resets, and he's always complaining on Facebook that he has headaches. So you see how people really tell you about themselves, and they really not like, why I just made this connection is only when I'm talking about it. It's not something I go around and I'm like constantly analyzing people. It's just, I call it, you make associations when you bring up the subject of things that you have heard or seen. So let me start off by sharing the pamphlet that I actually made a long time ago and just never did anything with it because I didn't think it was good enough. So I literally called it pH Balancing is Figure Outable. How many people actually turn around and do pH balancing on yourself, or work with clients and do pH balancing? That way, it's just going to kind of give me an idea of the knowledge standpoint of somebody actually seeing this rather than just hearing it. So whether or not y'all want to just kind of put your little hand, if you're behind the scenes, put a little hand, yes, I do, or in the comments. Let's see, we do have 2 comments. Okay. Yay. I know Becky's doing it. Abigail's starting. Holly never did it. Cassie, I have not, but know how important it is. Anybody takes care of a swimming pool or a fish tank? Anybody on here takes care of a swimming pool or fish tank? Okay, which one, Angela? We have a hot tub. Yes. Pool. Yep. Okay. Hot tub. So you see, Angela and a backyard pond. Okay, so Cassie, you actually apply. Angela, you actually do apply that you do pH balancing, maybe not on a human, but you're going to have the knowledge of something. Okay. And then, so Cassie, you have the pond, and yeah, oh, my fishies, that's right. Okay. Those fishies don't stay alive if you don't have a proper pH balancing. So, okay, so we really have more of you guys that understand pH balancing than you think. Okay, so it is all about our well-being. And if you don't think it affects your emotions, your physical, your mental, they actually have a huge component that's a addition that goes into the mental acid and alkaline. And so what we're doing with balancing the pH is understanding our pH and the pH scale. So we go from alkaline to acid. I'll show you that scale in a second. So we have the acid is good for both mental and physical health, and it can help our entire life. And then what if I am alkaline? Alkaline can be a congestion. So acid, it's running through us too quickly. Alkaline, it's staying congested. So in order for us to maintain a pH balance in our body, it's going to be good for our digestive system, our intestinal system, our cardiovascular, respiratory, and immune system. The balance affects what we call our hemoglobin in the blood, which is the oxygen. So when we look at a CBC, that's our blood work, but we're looking at the blood, the lymphatic system, all the fluids within the blood. That's where we're going to have this impact. So that environment is either going to grow little buggies, or it's going to be able to process them. So think about this. And Abigail, I'm picking on you. Maybe I'll pick on Holly so we can have a different perspective of somebody. So Holly, get ready. And if y'all need me to repeat the question, and there's no wrong answer or right answer, this is, I want y'all to come to the table and tell me how y'all thinking about this. If B vitamins are water soluble, how important you think it is for pH balancing? Let's go to Holly first.
I don't know if I have an answer.
Just come from a perspective of, do you know that B vitamins are water soluble, Holly?
Yes.
Okay. And so the next part is do you realize that, when a person pees out that yellow of B vitamins, okay, are they being more acid or are they being more alkaline?
I would guess more alkaline, but I'm just.
Okay. So alkaline is congested. Acid is the minerals are just passing straight through.
Yeah. So actually I take that back. It would probably be more acidic, right? Because it's
Good
running
job.
through.
Yep. Very good job thinking about it. So the next time someone ever asks you guys, when I take my B vitamins, my urine is yellow, yellow, yellow. So I want y'all to think about this. So next thing you could think of is, well, let's see if you're acid or alkaline. If a person is very acid, it means they are passing those B vitamins very quickly. They're not, and watch, I'm really going somewhere with this, because if we're passing proteins very quickly, they're spilling over in the urine. If we're passing B vitamins very quickly, they're spilling over in the urine. It's not that you're not uptaking it. It's that we need to get the pH more balanced in order for the body to What's that key word? Absorbs. I'm going to do it with animations, and maybe we will remember this, because I remember my teacher. It was so funny when he did this, because I was like, I'm going to remember that. Okay. So if pH measures acidity and alkalinity in solution, so what question I asked everybody from the beginning, for those of you who are just coming on, is, do you have a swimming pool? Do you have a fish pond? Do you have a fish tank? Do you check your pH? We're talking pH here, and we're talking about it from a perspective of, if you're just taking care of the swimming pool, then why are we not doing it for our bodies? Okay. Or our fish tank. Can our fish, where's Cassie? She's going to text in. Cassie, can our fish swim and live in that unbalanced pH for your fishies in your backyard? They're going to be belly up, or they're going to be swimming around like some little happy, they float. And y'all, guess what? You know how they say, I'm sorry, I have to say this word, shit floats. Well, maybe perhaps there's a theory. But actually, if ours floats, then we're having enough fiber, we're having enough oxygen in there in order for it to rise. Because our bodies, if we're going snorkeling in a very salt-based water, we're gonna boop, boop, float on the top. And so that's one of the things that we have to think about. So the lower the pH number, the more acidic in solution. The higher the pH number, the more alkaline in solution. So for y'all to think about this, my grandmother at 94 years old was extremely alkaline. Extremely alkaline. Is the body closer to death at 94 years old, or is the body thriving with oxygen? She had, and I'm going to tell y'all, it was lung issues, and she was absolutely grasping for air. So, Angela, this is going to be a question for you. If we can now measure our oxygen on our Oura ring, and we're having more oxygen issues at night, are we going to have a more acidic body or a more alkaline body?
Acidic.
Acidic, that's right. So if we're not getting that oxygen, so remember this, pH is all about oxygen. My husband does pH, and he don't even realize he does this. He just studies the water in fishing. If there's a congested, so if anybody fishes and you have a congested area in the water and the water is not flowing through it, and there's little bugs coming out the top, the water is dead. There's too much leaves. There's too much let me see if I can say the word, decomposition happening, and things aren't breaking down, okay, molecule wise. So water makes up 70% of our total body weight in a healthy adult. I have been really helping to give people visuals on how dehydrated their cells are. So think about this. It's not about I drink a bunch of water. It's about, is your cell having the proper hydration in order to push out a toxin? It occupies two main components within the body. The intra would be inside the cell, and the extra would be outside the cell component. It's vital for these compartments to balance and maintain a pH. So when we're saying that we're dehydrated, according to a test that I do with people through their urine, it's because the cells are not taking up water. This is not about how much water you're drinking. It's about being able to have enough oxygen and have enough coming in. So if a person is very acidic and they have a 5.0, they are not going to be taking hydration into their cells as well, no matter how much water they're drinking. It's so many functions, including digestion, enzyme activity. So remember this, digestion is all about the small intestines. Everybody names it the stomach, but it's not. Enzyme activity is going to be the pancreas, and hormonal balance. That's going to be the three. Don't forget about all three hormones in the brain: the thyroid, the adrenals, the ovaries, or the testes. And we also have insulin, the pancreas, are completely dependent on our body's pH. The body's fluids can indicate a pH is properly balanced. Ideally, a saliva pH will be 6.5 to 6.8, and urine can fluctuate between 6 and 7. In my office, when you come in, you get a paper plate. I have a line drawn through the paper plate, and on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, I have an S and a U, and I ask you to spit on it, and then I ask you to do your pH, or they pee in a cup, and then we stick the little pH test strip in there. And I also do some other pH testing, or body fluid testing, that I learned through school, and it's called a refractometer and a Myron reader. And so these turn around and literally, so here we are, the body has three primary systems to maintain pH: respiratory, urinary, which is the kidney, and the gastrointestinal. And that is our liver and our pancreas. So those of you that I asked a question earlier about the B vitamins. So if we need B vitamins for that liver, and you see how this includes the gastrointestinal includes the liver and the pancreas, can you see why a person with blood sugar issues are going to be acidic and they're not going to uptake their B vitamins? A person with a liver, I'm going to call sluggishness, is not going to uptake those B vitamins. Now, a body can become unbalanced through proper diet, stress, dehydration, chemicals, and lack of exercise. I'm going to actually stop right here, because this one page, if you could read this every day for 30 days, I'm telling you, you would transform your knowledge of how you can help clients or yourself first. The main part of pH is about your health. So I did something in my office yesterday, and I told the girls who work for me that they had to go check their own urine, and they had to do it on each other and fill out this chart that I'm working with people on. And when they looking at their numbers, they both, I'm gonna call it, they both start like fishing backwards. And they didn't want to see their own numbers. Guys, in working with people, the number one part that I identify is the way in which that we are more concerned about other people and our opinions about another person than our own health. We don't want to know our numbers. We don't want to know we don't want to get to know us through the struggles and through the good times. Because guess what everybody will do? Becky, can I pick on you? Are you ready to come off camera or no? Or at least off mic?
Okay.
Okay, can I pick on you?
Sure.
Okay. What excuse you made me when I gave you a urinalysis test strip? What excuse you first sent to me as a message of why you didn't do it the first week?
Oh, because I didn't read the book, and I had kids with me, and I knew it would be hard. I'd be under a lot of stress, and it'd be hard to follow the whole plan.
Okay, so watch this. What if we showed up at those times for ourselves and just did the test strip?
Well, if I would have already started, I would have. But I didn't even, like, after the weekend of teaching classes, I didn't even read the book to
Okay. So you see how we always, and look, y'all just bear with me because I'm really onto something here, okay? You see how we really always making excuses for why not now? What if, Becky, you literally just peed in a cup, put that test strip in while you were under stress? Would you get to know who you are at a deeper level?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, oh, it's Christmas time. We're not going to do it right now. It's this time. We're not going to do it right now. Okay. Who has pH test strips in your bathroom?
Me.
Good job, Becky. Okay. Kristen, good job. You see, we want to do health, but we want, our first thing is to blame something, whether it's Christmas, the holidays, my busy life, all of these different components. But this, Becky's showing us real life right now. It's not that I'm here to call her out or anything, but I mean, how many of us can make excuses of why not now? We can all do this, you see? So this is one of the reasons that I do this on all my clients. And I'm going to be changing something when I work remotely with people, because they will have to turn it into me in order for me to be able to at least see a terrain that we're working with. So the part goes back to, if we're going to make one step of doing something different for ourselves, let's start checking our pH.
Chris, can I add something quick too?
Absolutely, please.
It's also a great, and I have to get better at this because I've only done it. Well, I haven't done it as much as I should, but to do a before and after Bella, 90 days of Bella, is huge, 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 huge for pH testing. It's not over.
Okay, so
it's
this
not
is what I want you to
overcomplicated.
do though. In this explanation, I want you to literally not say the word huge. I want you to name the components that change.
So what I saw change was they were definitely more balanced, because we kind of want them to create a balance, really. It's what happened. The numbers were closer to each other, which is where we ideally obviously want them.
Yeah.
And then two, I think with it really made a big difference with because nutritional deficiencies, absorption, all that stuff, taking Soul itself had my numbers almost identical, which is huge. And that generally, I don't think is a thing for people generally taking vitamins outside of our little world.
Well, and you know, this is something that's huge, because I have a lot of people come to me taking tons of supplements and their body's acidic. And the reason in which that I'm teaching this morning is because I am working with several people on an extensive urine test that they take every Monday for 6 weeks as we make some changes. And this is more about us getting to know our bodies, people. Okay. When we get to know our bodies, we actually come to the table of just showing up and saying, this is it. Let me just see this, face this, and look at it, and then say to myself, actually, it kind of motivates you, because what ends up happening is you say to yourself, Well, let me see which component is going to move this number. And so in each and every person, somebody might ask me, well, what do you do for this one? What do you do for that one? What do you do for this one? I'm going to sit here and tell you there's a whole list of components of if I'm too acidic, you go down each and every one of them, or if I'm too alkaline, you go down each and every one of them. But okay, so let me teach y'all something. One of the most needed nutrients for acidic or alkaline is going to be vitamin C. Which one of our supplements is going to qualify for that one?
Renew.
And which else?
Royal.
Royal, that's right, because there's a lot of components in Royal. Which one else? Look at it. Excel. Let me tell you something recently. So, Abigail, you mind sharing what the adrenal cocktail is?
Yeah. So it's a pack of Renew, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of sea salt. Or like Celtic salt, whatever salt you use, as long as it's good quality. And you mix it
High
up.
quality salt, say it like that, high quality.
High quality salt in 1/4 of a cup of water. And you just down that, and there you go.
Okay, but what happens with some people when they do that and they have depletion?
They may show up with puffiness and dark under eyes.
So remember, the darkness under the eyes go back to kidneys.
Yeah.
Adrenals are on top of our kidneys. Okay. And that tells me that that person's body is not absorbing. Okay. So we'll repeat it. Angela, just give us a second. That person's body is not absorbing the nutrients, and it's just the kidneys are more sluggish. Okay. The kidneys are more sluggish. Now, the part is to keep doing it. Because guess what happens with the kidneys? If the body has been in depletion, and now when I'm saying depletion, I'm going to tell you the depletion is towards the cell itself not taking in hydration. So when the body finally gets it, guess what it wants to do first? It's in scarcity. Oh, I got it. I'm going to hold on to it. So we go alkaline. Okay, so holding on is alkaline, running through too quickly is acid. But a person's going to go, and I'm going to tell you, I see this teeter-totter with people until we get things in range. So I'm going to call it, in range. So what ends up happening is we have to keep taking it in, and then the body is finally going to be in awe. Okay, so Abigail, go ahead and I'm going to tell y'all the recipe that Abigail's giving is a toned down recipe. It's not what our true recipe is, but most people can't handle the taste of the full recipe. So Abigail, I see Angela walked away, but can you please repeat it again? Or yeah. There we go.
So the original recipe is going to be a pack of Renew, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of high quality salt in 1/4 of a cup of water. And then if you want to do it in the tradition, like the higher up leveled way, you're going to double that. But it's not double the Renew though, right?
No, it's half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, half a teaspoon of salt, and then you still do the 1/4 cup of the Renew, or you can use down here we have fresh orange juice. Like if I have fresh orange juice, I'll use that. However, it's a vitamin C. So you want vitamin C, cream of tartar is pure potassium, and then your real salt is the salt. So this is a cocktail to feed and nourish the adrenals. I also on my website have an adrenal soup, but a lot of people who are in menopause or who have hormonal issues are going to be depleted in these nutrients because the adrenals are in overdrive. A person who's very stressed is going to use those nutrients up at high rates. So I'll do that for a week with somebody and they will see their hydration change. And then guess what? If you eat more sugar, what happens to you? What happens to the way in which your hydration changes in the cells again? Oh, shit. So, yep. Yes. It doesn't matter when you actually do it. Yes, it depletes, Cassie. That's absolute correct. It does not matter, and it doesn't really make a point that you have to do it in the morning or you have to do it. I'm going to tell you, because it's Renew, sometimes I actually do it at night. Okay, so let me just give y'all something. A person who is on blood pressure medication is going to hold on to the fluid first, especially if they're on a diuretic, because their cells, they're dumping fluid out the extra. Okay, so we have intracellular and extracellular. Anything with an HCT on that blood pressure medication is a diuretic, and it's going to absolutely, affect that person a little bit differently. So just think about that when you're working with somebody. And if they are on blood pressure medication, that's why you really want to start very slow on this. But what you're just trying to do is just get these nutrients into this person so they can be able to, their cells can start uptaking. The cells can start uptaking. Before I go into this next little page, anybody has a question, any other questions, even if you want to type it in. Okay.
Hey,
Can you
Chris.
overdo? Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
I've been doing it in the afternoons for like 3 days now, because last week was very, very tiring for me, especially by the afternoons. So I've been doing it in the afternoon, and I can feel like I can move through things a lot easier than
Yes.
waiting till nighttime.
Correct. And so let me repeat this to you guys. When I do saliva testing when you do your 4 saliva catches, it's from 7 to 8 in the morning, 11 to 1, 4 to 5 in the afternoon, and then 10 to midnight is when you do the saliva catching for the 4 different. So when Lisa's saying she's doing it in the afternoon, some people need the adrenal cocktail in the afternoon instead of cinnamate. Some people, you see, it's all like, I have a guy and he can do the cinnamate, but like with women, I find this Renew with these little components in there are a better option. That makes sense?
I've been doing cinnamate too.
Oh, you look, because I wanted her to keep walking through the wall instead of giving up. Okay, let's work on this, Lisa. Let's work on that. And so this is the beauty of what I'm trying to get across. You have to know your body. And when you're going to be in the situation like Becky was in of, I have too much going on, you think she's going to know how to treat her body differently and be kind to her body because she knew her body, she knew what it needed, and she now has a journal of what I'm going to do that weekend instead of getting totally burnt out before Sunday. If I know I'm going to be having a 15-month-old or 2 children under the age of 4, then you're going, or under the age of 7, you're going to do things differently, especially when you're not used to having these children around. You know, when you go through empty nesting, like Becky and Kristen and I did, and then you throw us with some children, we so drained after that. We like, what just happened here? But if we know this, then we're going to drink our Renew. And guess what? Those kids are going to want to sip it with us. And guess what? You get that straw and you start putting it in their mouth young. Okay, can we?
Chris.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
have a question. So during that week, I was taking plenty of adaptables. That would be a good thing to add in the afternoons on top of doing that, just not
Yes.
to help the depletion.
Okay, you see, it's not that adaptables don't work. Guys, I'm teaching you more advanced level of some people will not get balanced in their stress life with just adaptables. Okay. And yes, Becky, this is one. Okay. So you know how I said I'm coming out with, I'm really working on something with the kidneys. Y'all are my experiment, because guess what I'm going to want y'all to start doing. Okay. Drum roll. Add a little bit of Excel. Okay. Add a little bit of Excel to that component. So I'm really thinking maybe just like us opening the pack and taking our 1/4 teaspoon and putting it in that cocktail. So Lisa, can you do that? Add a little bit of Excel to that cocktail. So remember, when we're doing the cocktail, we're doing a very concentrated dose. So when you do concentrated doses in China, you drinking it as a tea, so it enters the bloodstream immediately. I'm going to repeat this again. In China, everything is about giving you everything to make a concentrated tea. Is their teacups huge in China? When you go to Sicily, how big's that little coffee cup? And demi-tasse. In French, we call that a demi-tasse. But does it pack? Whew, me and Johnny had to share the demi-tasse. Yes, we are using a whole pack of Renew, because most people in this situation are burnt. They're burnt out. This is a recharge, guys. This is you hooking up to the battery cables. That makes sense. And stress is one of the major reasons you're burning through all your minerals. And so when we look, remember on the sheet right before, we have the unbalance is poor diet, stress, dehydration, chemicals, or lack of exercise. This morning, I talked about the VOCs in the air from train derailments. If you live in the areas that is being affected, I want you to really think about this. Why are we adding Excel to this component? Come on. Yeah. Go ahead.
The kidneys come to mind first to help flush, because anytime there's like a kidney thing going on, that's what I go to.
Okay, so watch this. We always saying liver, 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 liver. Okay, if the adrenals are on top of the kidneys and I go through Excel, I'm going to find a lot. They have the celery salt, they have the celery seed, they have a lot of components that are absolutely for the kidneys. Now watch this. Bilberry and Eyebright, I think those two are in, did I say those right? I'm going to go to Soul's website, and I know Eyebright, but I think it's is it Bilberry? I might be wrong.
Yes.
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 Okay. Thank you. Okay. So Bilberry and Eyebright are going to bring in the vitamin A. Kidney health. Are you serving the cocktail cold? Girl, you can drink it warm, but it's going to be much better cold. like I told Lydia the other day, Lydia sends me a text message and we go back and forth. And y'all, I don't know what has happened to, I call it the Facebook world, but it's like, man, we have lost friends or things like that because of whatever they have done. Like I have just, like Lydia's not even on my feed no more. So we text each other more than normal. And she's one of the areas where they had that, well, she's north of it, but that train derailment and that nice, wonderful cold front came through that just brought that wind that took it up. And they having respiratory issues in that area. And that's where her and I were going back and forth. And she was telling me that one of her people actually muscle tested for 3XLs. I was like, oh, so that, okay. So when we want to support those kidneys, we go to liver. Why am I bringing up pH today? Let's see who can guess it. Why are we bringing up pH today?
Because when the liver's overburdened, everything's going to spill out of the urine, out of the kidneys and urine.
Okay, so yes. Yo, Becky never fails to amaze me of her knowledge. And, it's like, I have loved watching her grow, but I will love when she's going to finally own her knowledge and her body up, like she's been through a lot in her body. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she understands how you can take the body and change. So Lisa puts the cocktail in room temperature water, lets it sit for a few minutes so Renew can dissolve a little bit better. Shake it a lot and break down the Renew, then drink it back. So, everybody's going to have to, this is the key component. Everybody's going to have to find out what works for you, because in Lisa's situation, Lisa, you mind if I share something about you? I'll get permission first.
Okay.
Okay. Lisa's pH runs 5.0, and we have not been able to budget. Okay. And so I know we need to dump the minerals, and she's already drinking and doing all the soul products, but that's where I'm wanting, she's going to be one of these that we're going to add a little bit of Excel to this drink to see if when we bombard the body, we can get it to uptake. So in Chinese medicine, you get these sticks in a piece of paper. It's all the straggler sticks and the tea mixtures, and you go and you make a very, very concentrated dose of something. And then you turn around and you take it in for medicinal purposes. Do y'all see how I just said that? If we say it like that, we're clear. Always talk about the Chinese medicine first and then turn around and say, why are you doing what you're doing? Because it's a Chinese medicine concept. Okay, so I'll usually do either before lunch or after, depending on my mood or energy. Yeah, perfect, Abigail. And that's the thing that, okay, so this is what we're noticing. Some people, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm being able, what we call, to triangulate. And this is not the Illuminati signal, people. It's just a triangle for me. Okay. Sorry. I'm into watching people's marketing, and people want to make it all about their emotions rather than about just talk about marketing. So anyway, one of the major things, wait, you know what? I think this is a good tie-in. The Super Bowl is the #1 marketing reason. If you didn't watch it for marketing and you're in this business, you watched it for the wrong reason. Okay, now watch how I'm going to say this. Marketing to a business is bar none the oxygen of the business. Hemoglobin for the body is the life of the body. That's oxygen. When you looking at that CBC, if you don't have iron in your blood, you have no oxygen. And without the kidneys, if you're spilling over protein, if you're spilling over into that kidney, there's a urinalysis also that you can do for hormones to even catch all the hormones you're spilling over. I've done that test. It's for real, people, that people spill estrogen over. And people who do preventive medicine can find something, and I'm going to call it biohacking. Biohacking is a new term that they're going to be going gangbusters with. Here we're back to marketing. Okay. Biohacking means that it is proven by science, but not paid for by insurance. So therefore, a medical doctor who is driven by payments through only insurance, who does not take your cash money, will not give you that option. You're going to the wrong person. Make sense? I want to stop arguing about, but my doctor didn't tell me that. That's not his job. That's not paid for by insurance. Okay. So the part is that if oxygen is the life inside of the body, then we need to study it on our own. You want to make the biggest changes in your body? Go study only you. Show up when you're stressed. Show up when you're thriving. Show up when you're not even liking who you are, and just journal and learn you. Buy a binder. I literally have files on my own self, but buy a binder. And in that binder, if you're working with ways in which that I'm teaching you how to get to know yourself, you put the pages in and then keep putting the new pages on top. Then one day, at the end of the month, you're going to go pull the pages and you're going to look at, wow, man, that week was a great week. What did I do that helps my body thrive? And you're going to go make your notes. You know, I love gratituding. But when are we going to take gratituding a little bit further? And we're going to add pH testing, and we're going to add get to know me in that aspect. And when we get to know us, I want you to think of it in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then, okay, Angela, best time for pH test stripping. They always say the second urine of the day or the first urine of the day. Or I'm going to be honest with you, at my office, whenever you show up, I have charts in my back office. So if you, in my website, so I'll share this so you can go see this. So if you go all the way to the bottom, it says track your pH. And if you do this, I have a very extensive chart that tells you exactly those times. It actually asks about your sleep, and it asks about the food you ate the day before. You really want to get to know yourself? Then do it, do this. It has a lot of information on the bottom. We'll cover this eventually, but this is where that's located. We also have a downloadable that's right here that you can go get. I have this PDF that I'm teaching you out of that I was, let's see how I want to say this. I really want to do this as a class. I have some very good information. At the time, my self-esteem wasn't where it needed to be in order for me to portray it. But now I think that we're at a very, very good place. And what I'm saying is a very good place, meaning that I have a lot of people who are pH test stripping themselves. So now's the time for me to teach this class. And in doing that, you're bringing yourself to the table in what you need. Okay, let's see what's the next questions here. Best time. Okay, so Angela, pull that chart and we can continue that conversation, but read it and see what I have on there. Okay, pH test strips are inexpensive and I challenge everyone to get them and start monitoring and practicing to date. So yes, there you go. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So just pull them out, print the chart, and start there for most of you. And listen, don't be, okay, if you did it 5 days that week, guess what? I can actually teach you how to make your cumulative, and it's all math, guys. But just show up, just start doing it. We have some that Cassie, it is all okay. If you go to that pH test strip page, it's all the way at the bottom. And you go and it says track your pH, and I have a link. I have clickables within that page that gets you to each and every, it's so funny. How, I've built these pages and spent this time, yet I failed to teach it. And it's there. But we are going to be digging deep into pH, because if we catch a cold, guess what? You can probably find or know that you're going to be getting something before you get it if you're doing this, and you can be more proactive. One thing I love about my Aura Ring is that I knew almost a day and a half before I was getting sick, and I caught it, and it was literally at convention when I went in October, and I was able to catch it, and I really went heavy on the supplements and had a very short duration of that cold versus it being a full, you talk to people and they're all in bed and they're having issues. And that's the whole objective, is us being able to come to the table, know who we are, and make and pivot those changes. So my word for 2023 is pivot. So how can we pivot and just let's start with us, and then what we learn, we become a spillover to our clients. Any other questions, details? I'm going to actually send this pH book that I did to Abigail, and I'll let her give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Or let's go fix this, or Alexa will fix that, and be able to have that available. Okay, so if nobody has any questions, y'all have an amazing day and happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's Day,
Chris.
everybody.
Okay, Becky. Mhm.
Next Tuesday is Mardi Gras. I didn't know if you doing the call or not.
Girl, I'm giving
I'll
up.
be on an airplane.
Okay, Lundi Gras, I'm giving up my crown. And so, yeah, we're going to have to, unless somebody else from not the Louisiana area wants to do the call, or do y'all want to just wait until the week after, the Tuesday after? Y'all just kind of tell me, because how I want to say that. Cassie, what you thinking? You want to do the call, or y'all want to, you and Angela? Amy's on here.
I'll be here. I can do something, or with somebody.
Yeah, well, what you can do is just talk about that pH test strip chart, and y'all have some questions or things like that. I mean, guys, this is how we learn.
I can help out too. Just let me know what we're talking about.
Perfect. Okay, next Tuesday is a dental office. Amy's not gonna be there, but I'm sure some others, Kristen, Dorsey maybe might show up. But I give up my crown Monday night, so I don't know that Tuesday morning probably gonna be slow moving.
Yeah, I don't know if we doing anything or not yet, but
yeah, and I mean, look, I might show up, but okay, thank y'all for stepping in. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Becky, for reminding me.
Yes, I'll be on an airplane.
Oh, Lisa, where are we going?
Florida. Mark's got to
Okay.
get his eyes checked.
Oh,
from
okay,
his
that's right.
cataract
Okay.
surgery. Just a
Cool.
few days.
Yay, some good
y'all have a good week.
vitamin D. Y'all too.
Can't
See
wait.
y'all Thursday. Bye.
Bye.